What's going on, Panther Nation? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your host, CJ. If you're taking a look at my last few episodes, we've been talking about the cap space for the Carolina Panthers and different situations for different players, whether they be cut, contract extensions, or contract restructures. All right. And I know I said in the last one was going to be kind of the last episode about it, but I do have two more for you, and this is part one. We're going to take a look at the amount of cap space that the Panthers can potentially have as a whole. All right. Before we get into that, if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. I greatly appreciate all the love and support. Again, I'm on my way to my first channel goal of 500 subscribers, and I thank everybody that has so far. All right, now let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to try and calculate just how much cap space the Panthers can accumulate this offseason. Now, in the first part, I want to do just the players that can have a contract extension or be cut. Okay, because in part two, we're going to get into restructures. And I don't think, from what I've heard from Dan Morgan, they really want to get into a crap ton of restructures to where we're making that same, not mistake, but we're going down that same path again of kicking the can down the road, because it frees up money now, but then you still have to pay that money later on, i.e. the massive amount of a dead money space. I'm sorry, a massive amount of a cap hit Taylor Moton has for us this year alone. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, now I'm using over the cap. So if you look right here, the Panthers have $20.87 million in cap space available. All right, and that is current. Okay. Now, one thing that was getting me is the fact that I thought players like let me see, we have Austin Corbett. Okay. I thought that maybe now we're in his void years of his contract, but I think this $7.7 million is already calculated as part of that $20 million in cap space that we have. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know, please. Okay. Another player like that would be Shaq Thompson, where the $3.18 million in dead cap that he would have this year, I think that is already a part of that of the calculation as well. But again, if anybody out there knows different, knows better, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. All right, I thank you. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at some of the players I mentioned to be cut. Okay, now let's scroll back down here. We're going to start with Shy Tuttle. All right, and we're just going to go ahead and do the submit for cut him pre-June 1st. Okay. All right, we're also going to scroll down to Miles Sanders. Now, this is another one here. I really would like if Miles Sanders would be able to come back to form, next year and be able to contribute. But if the Panthers don't see that being the way they want to go and they do decide to cut him, he will save us $5.2 million towards the cap. All right. So let's go ahead and hit submit on Miles Sanders. And another person, Dane Jackson. Okay. Dane Jackson is probably a great guy in real life, but his play on the field wasn't anything to write home about. He was injured for a little bit of the season, but I can't tell you what Evero was thinking. He might be back, but on this particular episode right here, we're going to get rid of Dane Jackson as well. Okay. And one more person that I did not think about, who may be up for getting let go also, Amari Barno. Okay, I think this is going into the last year of his rookie deal. So he would save the Panthers $1.1 million while only costing us $46,000 as far as a hit to the cap. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of Amari Barno as well. Okay, so let me scroll back up here. Now, if we scroll back to the top of the screen, what once was $20.8 million is now $33.8 million. Okay, so we built up $13 million in cap space. Okay, so now we'll get to two of the bigger contracts here. Well, potential savings anyway. Taylor Moton. Okay, so now mind you, if we were to look at Taylor Moton's contract, he already has 3 void years as part of his contract. Some of his signing bonus is spread out through those 3 years, $1.6 million in each year. Okay. But what is the kicker this year is this massive, base salary, prorated signing bonus, his roster bonus, workout bonus, all adds up to $31.3 million. Okay. Now, if we go back to Taylor Moton here on the cap calculator, and just say we don't restructure Taylor, but just say we sign him to an extension. Okay. So let me go ahead and submit that. And I'm going to get rid of all these years right here. And what I'm going to do is just add a year back. I've been messing around with this all evening. And so as you can see up here, it says that with extend or renegotiate, we have a potential of $12.9 million worth of cap savings. All right. So if I was just to add 1 year, and usually what these extensions and restructures do, especially for the Panthers, they'll take that they'll take the base salary and convert that into a signing bonus and spread it out over a couple years of the extension. It's funny because me and What's Up Doug, we have a bet going whether Taylor Moton will get a 2-year or a 3-year extension. I think Taylor Moton will get a 3-year extension, and Doug thinks that he's only going to get a 2. So again, y'all let me know in the comments if y'all think I'm right or y'all think Doug is right. How long do you think Taylor Moton is going to be around for the Panthers? Or do you think he may get cut? I mean, that's also an option as well. So we'll see. All right. But now just say I kind of did this and added just this 1 year. I'm not going to sit here and speculate about what type of contract extension he's going to get. But this right here, once I hit transact, it kind of gives us about a 12 point something million dollar savings, which is kind of close to that $12.9 million savings that they have right here. Okay. So that's Taylor Moton. All right. Now, if we go down to J.C. Horn and we do extend or renegotiate, because we already picked up his 5th-year option. So now this season is going to cost us $12 million to pay J.C. Horn. Let me see if I go back here to cut. If we were to cut him, this would be his whole salary, and it's fully guaranteed on his 5th-year option, that $12.4 million. Okay. So if we go to, if we go down to extend or renegotiate, and hit the submit button here. Now, mind you, I am going to take his base salary out, and I don't know what kind of a salary they'll potentially be giving JC. I was looking somewhere where I think on Spot Track estimated it be somewhere in like the $70 million range. I think like 4 years, 70 something million dollars, but we won't know for sure until, the news comes out if they decide to do anything. Okay. So let's just say, even with Robert Hunt last year, all right, he signed that $100 million contract. He had a base salary of a little over $1 million plus a $5.3 million signing bonus. So his cap hit was only about $6 million. Same thing for Damian Lewis, who signed a 50-something million dollar contract, and his cap hit signing bonus, I forget exactly how much it was, but that the cap hit for that year was just about the same amount, around about $6 or so million. So let me just type 6 million in here for his base salary. Okay. And let's go ahead and hit transact. All right. So now we were at $33 million that the Panthers freed up by cutting a few people. All right. And that was Miles Sanders, Shy Tuttle, Dane Jackson, and also threw Amari Barno in there as well. So that got us up to $33 million. Now, what we've done just now, we have extended the contracts of Taylor Moton and J.C. Horn. But for purposes of this video, I just worried about just this next year. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, until we know the numbers and how much the contracts were and all that good stuff. So if we scroll back up, we will see that now we are at $51.7 million. Okay. And that's without any contract restructures. So as of yet, no kicking the can down the road. All right, we extended Taylor Moton. We worked on a new deal and extension for J.C. Horn. We cut Miles Sanders, Shy Tuttle, Dane Jackson, and Amari Barno. All right, so we were at $20.8 million, and now we've gained almost $30 million in cap space by just these moves right here. All right, now on my last video, I did do kind of a surprising candidate to be cut by the Panthers, and that was Jadeveon Clowney. Okay. So you see, if Jadeveon Clowney was to be cut, he would have a cap hit of, $6 million, but we would have a savings of $7.7 million, right? And also another person that I mentioned on there was DJ Wonnum, okay? If he were to be cut, we have a cap hit of $1.7 million, but it would save us 6.2. All right. Now, I don't know what the Panthers' plan is defensively. Again, we have to wait and see what's in their minds and what they're thinking. But you can never rule out anybody as just being uh well, there's certain people you can say that okay, they're safe and there's no way the Panthers are going to mess with their contracts at all. But I don't think DJ Warnham and Jadeveon Clowney fall into that necessarily safe zone right now. Do I want this to happen to either one of them? No, but it wouldn't surprise me because that is combined about $13 million, that the Panthers could potentially save. And I do believe we're going to focus on the defensive side of the ball. So that 13 million could go to signing a potential edge rusher in free agency, somebody younger come in here and hopefully wreak havoc. And then maybe you draft one as well. So you never know. They might get rid of both of them. They may keep one and get rid of the other, or they may keep both of them. We'll have to wait and find out. But just for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and say we cut DJ Warnham and we cut the Jadeveon Clowney. All right. Now that would get the cap space up to $65 million. And this is without any contract restructuring. Like I keep like to say, any of that kicking the can down the road as far as saving cap money now, but adding it on years later and potentially adding void years to contracts as well. Okay. The Panthers do have some options where they can get some cap space, have a little bit of flexibility, and be able to. Dan Morgan has already said that they want to be aggressive in free agency. He also said during the interview right before the Super Bowl that they have their free agency plan already together. Okay, and today, which is Monday, they're starting on their draft meetings, their draft preparation. The Panthers already have a free agency plan in place, but we just won't know what that is until free agency starts. So I think the legal tampering period starts on March the 12th, and the new league year, the legal tampering period starts on March the 10th, and the new league year starts on March the 12th. So it'll be a free-for-all frenzy on that day. Everybody, just keeping our ear to the ground and trying to report exactly what we hear whenever it becomes live. Okay. But like I said, the Panthers do have some options. And if I take $13 million off of this and get back to 51, that will be, keeping Jadeveon Clowney and DJ Warnham. All right. But if you do keep them to $51 million, $51 million, that's still a lot more than the 20.8 that we had at the start of the video. All right. Y'all let me know in the comments, what do y'all think? Is there anybody else on the Panthers list that you want to see them potentially cut? Anybody else you want to see them, possibly work out an extension with or whatnot? Tell me what you think of this list. And in the next video, we are going to add in the players that can get their contracts restructured. Okay. And I think it's interesting because that's what we have seen, year after year, contract restructure, contract restructure, contract restructure. And like I said, that's why we're in the situation with Taylor Moton that we're in now. And even last year with Dan Morgan being a first-time GM and Brant Tillis coming over, they did the exact same thing with Taylor Moton again. All right. So we'll see. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, I appreciate all the love and support. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate you. And as always, Panther Nation, I'm going to leave y'all with 3 things. Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. I'll see you.